All right, everyone. Welcome to the 187th District Court. Happy Wednesday. Let's keep it a Wednesday. Let's not try to turn it into a Monday. You are in a courtroom. So what does that mean? Anything you could not do in the courtroom, you could not do on this Zoom screen. That includes wearing shades, Everett Gonzalez. And if you are at work, then you need to take a break, because otherwise, if you behave improperly on this Zoom, your Zoom privileges will be revoked and you will be required to appear in the courtroom. There is no driving and Zooming. If you can't text and drive, surely you can't Zoom and drive. I only know a few people who can multitask, and that's usually women. So no Zooming. Thank you, Karen Corby. Karen knows it's true. So, Linda, you know that's true too. All right. So these are the rules of the 187 District Court. To all the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back. To everyone else, including the inmates, this is not the Bachelor, this is not the Bachelorette. You cannot use the chat box to pick up dates. I know what you're probably saying. Why would she say that? Because it's been tried before. So don't do that on this Zoom. This is a courtroom. Also, do not be cooking breakfast at your house. Do not laying in bed. Again, think, could I do this if I was in the courtroom? And if you cannot, then you can't do it on this Zoom screen. Attorneys, I'm going to call your name. That's the order in which you will appear. If you see that you're last on the list or on the list that you want to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another courtroom. However, if you Zoom to another courtroom, your name is called, you will be put at the end of the list. To all the defendants and those people who are accused, your name will not be called. I repeat, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it's because your attorney is probably Zooming in another courtroom. So please do not raise your hand and say, I didn't hear your attorney's name. Because I'm going to say, did I call your attorney's name? They're probably Zooming in another courtroom. Trust me, you will get a chance to speak with your attorney today. So this is the list: Linda Corley, Daphne Preveding, Karen Corby, Adam LaHood, John Kuntz, Ed Garcia, Eli Rico. Is there any attorney whose name I have missed?
Yes.
Is that a defendant about to tell me I've missed an attorney's name?
Yes.
Why are you telling me that? All right then. So I'm going to open up breakout rooms. When I open a breakout room, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to a room. To all the defendants and those who are accused, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to the prosecutor before they speak to you. Attorneys, when I call your name, I'll need your name. I need your client's name and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. When you go to the breakout rooms, please be patient. There are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors on this Zoom today. Think of the breakout rooms as when you go to the doctor's office. When you go to the doctor's office, the nurse calls you to the back. You're not seeing a doctor. They're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. Everyone, it's Wednesday. Let's not make it into a Monday. Put some patience in your pocket. All right, Linda Corley, thank you for renaming.
Oh, you're welcome, Judge. And I actually need to confer with Marcus Sanders.
All right, I've sent you to breakout room number 2 and Marcus will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Daphne Preveding. I cannot hear you.
Good morning, Judge. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, my client is here with me at my office, so he won't appear on his own Zoom. So I wanted to let you know he is present. And then our case is a misdemeanor DWI with violations on an MPR.
What is your client's name?
His name is Clayton Mullins, and the case is 2019.
I don't need the case number. I just need your client's name.
Clayton Mullins, but it was a criminal case, but the allegations allege out-of-county family violence. So I'm not sure which prosecutor I need to talk to.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Karen Corby.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. It's Criminal Trial Division, Max Sanchez, and I would like to actually confer with my client, Mr. Sanchez, first, please.
Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody.
All right, could Mr. Max Sanchez raise your hand for me, please? All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. And Karen Corby, I'll send you to 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Adam LaHood.
Morning, Your Honor. I have Matthew Cole at CTD, and this is a motion to withdraw.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
5.
John Koontz.
Good morning, Judge. I've been dealing with Hunter on Everett Gonzalez.
I'll send you to number 6.
Thank you.
Dealing with Hunter makes it sound like a chore.
Or other things. Ed, don't do anything illegal in that breakout room. Ed Garcia.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
I've got Alejandro Garcia, and I would like to talk with Marcus Sanders, CTD.
I'll send you to number 7.
All right.
Eli Rico.
Good morning, Your Honor. Roger Villarreal, and I've been dealing with Hunter on this case.
Hunter, you are like being requested left and right.
Yes, Judge, and I believe Mr. Rico has some time restraints, so I'll jump in with him real quick.
All right. I'll send you to
Thank you.
number 8. Okay, Rebecca, did you need to speak to Roger Villarreal?
After Hunter is done with Eli,
All right.
we got to figure out. I do need to see you in a breakout room though.
All right, I can meet you in breakout room number 1. Everyone just give me a moment, and please remember we are live streaming. All right, Mr. Wolf, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will speak with you. Norma,
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, ma'am.
is Ernest Acevedo going to be here today?
He should be, Judge. Let me give him a call.
Okay. I mean, if he's not, I mean, let me know.
I will. And Leslie is running late, Judge.
Okay. Well, let me give these to you. You can take that. Yes. Adam LaHood, you're back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Confer with the state. I have a motion to withdraw from my client. It's he's fallen out of complete contact. And I mean, I can't communicate with him, and the times we were communicating wasn't very fruitful, to be honest. But it's just based on that, Judge. He last significant we had, I talked to him. He said that he wanted to have take a job somewhere out of state. We actually filed a motion to modify bond conditions. That was never heard, simply because he just completely fell out of contact after that. I think last I've had anything with him was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. and its phone number doesn't work and emails go unanswered.
Okay. Are you appointed on this case?
I am, Judge, and if I can tell the court honestly, I'm up to my eyeballs right now on cases. I got, as you know, we're opening up at a rapid pace, and I have so many trials coming up. I just don't have the time to kind of sit around and babysit on a case.
Well, the thing is that this defendant has already been remanded without bond. A warrant has been issued, and we will hear your motion to withdraw once he is taken into custody. But I'm not going to hear the motion to withdraw when he is not in custody.
Okay, Judge.
Judge, on the Burkhap case, I think the warrant was recalled, or at least I saw a note in the system.
Yeah, I saw something on that too. So I actually got a notice from the system.
Okay, why was the warrant recalled?
I don't know, Judge, but I did receive a notice of setting from the system. I emailed him saying that we just received this, you need to be here. Again, no answer, no response.
All right, could the clerks pull the events log? I want to know why this bond was this warrant that I issued was recalled.
Let me see what the note.
Thank you.
Hang on a second, Judge. I'm opening up my Outlook calendar, see what day.
Because if the court recalled it, it was because it was agreed between the state and defense, and it doesn't sound like the state and the defense agreed to recall.
No, Judge. It was the system shows a setting for August 5th. I know I filed a motion to withdraw on the 13th of this month. The warrant was issued on the 6/29, and then the same day it said bond reinstated. So I'm not really sure what happened.
I'm not either, but we'll find out. Because I issued a bond forfeiture on June 24th because the defendant no-showed.
Yes.
And he wasn't here by 11:46 a.m. So we shall find out. Norma, on this motion to withdraw.
Yes, ma'am.
How much notice would have been given to the defendant to be here today for this motion to withdraw?
It would have just been a regular reset, Judge. It would have been through his attorney.
Okay.
It wouldn't have been that much notice, Judge.
All right, so he's set for August 6th, correct?
I believe it's August 5th.
August
5th. Yes.
Correct.
All right, what we're going to do then is we're going to recall this back on August 5th. No. All right, so somebody reinstated this bond. It was not me. And it doesn't list in the system who reinstated the bond, but it shows that it was reinstated on June 29th, and I issued the bond forfeiture on June 24th. So we have no idea who did that, but it wasn't the court. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be recalled for August 5th when he's set. We will see if your client shows up. At that time, we will hear your motion to withdraw if he's present. If he's not present, then we'll probably hear something else.
All right, Judge. We'll see you in a week, I guess.
All right, thank you. And he should have already had notice for that since that's in the system.
Yes, Judge. And I emailed him and called him. Like I said, I mean, I don't file motions with withdrawal very often. It's like talking to a brick wall. I've had no contact, and that's yeah. But we'll see.
But Adam, is it really like talking to a brick wall? Because when you talk to a brick wall, you see the wall.
That's a good point.
Your client.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see you next week, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam, before you go.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You might want to contact the bondsman.
I've tried that, Judge. Like I said, I've gone through a lot. Their numbers are the same numbers I have, and yeah. I'm going to keep trying though for the next 7 or 8 days and see if anything changes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Linda Corley, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor, we have an agreement and sending it to Norma now. We'll be doing a plea this morning.
All right, thank you. And Linda, what I'll do is I'll send you and your client to a breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
And you're in breakout room. Oh, you were in number 2. So both of you can go back to breakout room number 2.
Judge, this is Hunter.
Yes.
Eli Rico had to jump over to his setting in Caldwell, but he'll be back. We, I believe, have an agreement to reform the judgment as far as the probation terms go on Roger Villarreal from yesterday,
Mhm. Yes.
just to give the court a heads up. It'll just be the terms of probation themselves.
Okay, just as soon as they give me the file. All right. So what are well, let me see you in a breakout room.
Okay, I believe I'm already, or Eli is maybe
He's
not
at
present.
8.
Okay,
It shows that he's there. So if you can go to 8,
yes,
and I'll
Judge.
meet you and Eli there. Ed Garcia.
Yes, Judge. I talked with Marcus, Your Honor, and there's an offer that's been extended that will take care of the felony case in your court. He is due in court August the 12th or 14th on some misdemeanors, one of which he's going to plead to, and then the state is going to dismiss the felony.
All right, Ed, just give me 1 second. I'll be right back, I promise.
Okay.
Court open? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have.
All right, Mr. Garcia, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So on Alejandro Garcia, you're saying that the state is going to, I guess, dismiss this in exchange for a plea?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so my last notes were from July 13th.
Mhm.
That was recalled for today. So that's the earliest they can give you for a plea, Mr. Garcia?
That, I don't represent him on the misdemeanors, Judge. Carlos Gonzalez does, and that date was preset already, even at the last setting. So I imagine that Mr. Gonzalez, in speaking to him, intends to recommend to Mr. Garcia to plead to the DWI at that setting, which is coming up.
All right, and you say what date again? I'm sorry.
I think it's August the 12th, Judge, 12th or 14th.
All right, can somebody look that up and see what the actual date is for the
12th, Judge.
misdemeanor? I'm sorry, when?
August 12th.
All right, so what we're gonna do is Norma on Alejandro Garcia. Can we come back? Let me see. Can we come back on August 13th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll come back on August 13th, Mr. Garcia. And if
Okay, good.
everything is worked out, then the state will have dismissed the case.
Okay, Your Honor, will do. My client should be in the courtroom. Perhaps I can speak with him to let him know what's going on.
Yes, and before he leaves, we need to get him a reset form. All right, to the courtroom, could you go to breakout room number 7, please?
Yes, Judge.
And which county court is this?
County Court number 2, Your Honor.
Okay.
You know, Judge, come to think of it, Judge Zumba does her pleas a little differently. She has different call dockets for pleas and for trial settings. So even though it's set for the 12th, you know, in my experience dealing with that court, I'm not sure that it's going to plead on that day.
Oh, no, it'll plead on that date. If you find out from that defense attorney that it's actually, that his client actually wants to enter a plea on that date to abide by the agreement that you've reached here, let me know the day before and I will text them.
Okay.
If no one has any objections to me making sure this happens in a timely manner.
I have none.
Okay, all right, so if we can do that, Mr. Garcia, if you'll speak to that attorney, let me know on the 11th that yes, he wants to enter a plea, then we'll get that done.
Okay.
All right, and I sent your client to breakout room number 7, so he'll meet you there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Bo Wood.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm real good. I'm here on 2 people, David Saldivar and Mr. Warrington. Mr. Warrington's in the Bexar County Jail, and I think it's an MTR, and today's first setting for me. But Mr. Saldivar, I believe we're here just on a psych report.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. June, I think, went to see him in the courthouse.
All right, let me check on, it's David Saldivar Salazar, right?
Yes, Judge.
Oh, yeah, so we'll need to see. Norma, can you check on that and see what the update is on the evaluation?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Saldivar, did you speak with Dr. Jimis? Can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, I met with him.
Okay, all right, we're gonna find out where we are in the process on that, all right?
And my other client, Judge, is Mr. Warrington, and if I could go to a breakout room of the DA, he has an MTR with a new case.
All right, is it criminal trial division?
Criminal trial, yes, ma'am.
All right, Bo, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you.
All right, John Koontz, you're back?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I've conferred with Meredith. We're still waiting on some medical records. My client was hospitalized at the time of this arrest, and briefly hospital. He was taken to the hospital. Let me put it that way. And so we're just waiting on those. Judge, I think we are inching towards a resolution, but I think those medical records are important, and Meredith is going to look into a couple of other things too. I would just ask if we could have maybe one more setting, maybe 3 or 4 weeks from now, just to kind of dot our I's and cross our T's. I think we can get it resolved.
All right, do we believe the medical records are going to be ready in 3 weeks?
I would hope so. I mean, I can't speak for a hospital, but typically they don't take that long. So
You can't speak for a hospital, John?
I can barely speak for myself, Judge. You know that.
Judge, can we get 30 days?
Okay, see, there we go. Thank you. Because John was going to be like, well, we can call it back on Monday. I believe we have the records.
No, ma'am. No way.
All right, Normie, can I get a 30-day reset on Everett Gonzalez? Just set it for discovery for the medical records.
Thank you, Judge.
I can
Sure.
do,
And then
I
can
do
you?
August 27th.
Yes, August 27th is fine. Yes.
All right, that'll be August 27th.
Judge, can you put me and my client Everett Gonzalez in a breakout room, and can we be excused from there?
All right, is your client on bond or in custody?
He's on bond, Judge. He's wearing a blue shirt. I see him there.
Right here, Judge.
All right, so you're in breakout room number 6. If you'll go back to 6, and Mr. Gonzalez, if you will go to 6, and then you can both be excused from that room.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Can I see you in a breakout room when you have a chance?
Sure, just give me one moment. Vivian Casares, who do you have?
Oh, sorry, Judge, I had to unmute. Good morning, Your Honor. I got in touch with my client. I was on the docket yesterday for Marcy Martinez. And I talked to her yesterday afternoon. And so there was a warrant issued yesterday, and I wanted to approach the court about withdrawing the warrant. She was supposed to log on, but I'm not sure where she is.
She's not here.
I'm not sure if she's under a different name.
All right, let me go to the breakout room. I'll be right back. But yeah, she's not on the Zoom screen.
Okay.
All right. And
I'll wait,
Norma,
Judge.
Sure, no problem. Norma,
Okay.
I'll meet you in number 9.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Vivian, any contact with your client? You're on mute.
Sorry, Judge. Good Lord.
No problem.
You think I'd have it figured out. Okay. I'm going to try to call her, Judge, because I have had contact with her yesterday and just now. So let me just make sure she got it. I'm going to mute myself and then I'll be back, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Villarreal, we're just waiting for your attorney to zoom back in. He's in another county.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Judge?
Yes.
I just talked to her, and so she's going to try to log on again. She said she was having problems trying to click on the link, so hopefully she'll get it now.
Okay.
All right, Judge. I'll mute myself till we see her.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Judge.
Judge, did my email go through?
Pardon?
My email, did you receive my email? It just went through, I think.
Okay. Let me see. Yes, I have it.
Okay. See if you can open it up, Judge.
Oh, no. You know what? You need the password.
I have the password. I'll call you in just a moment.
All right. If you'll just text it to me.
Okay.
Judge, somehow my client ended up back in here. Can you transfer us both back to our breakout room with the ability to share? I have part of the paperwork.
Okay. You know what I will do? I will move you all to number 10.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, in the first letter is capitalized only.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Judge, when you have a moment, I
Yes.
conferred with Daphne on Clayton Mullins.
Yes.
So all of the allegations in the MTR arise out of a Guadalupe County case. And so if we were going to go forward on that, we would need that information. Neither one of us have it, so I'm asking for a recess so that I could get that.
Okay. And how much time do you need?
A few weeks should be good.
All right, and is this going to end up being contested or no?
Judge, we really can't say until we've seen the discovery. Can we have a few weeks to receive the discovery and then let you know if it's contested, or if you want to know right now, could you give us a little bit more time so that we have time to prepare if it is contested?
Well, how much time are you all asking for? When do you think you'll receive the information, State?
I think we should have it definitely within 2 weeks, maybe within a week.
All right, Norma, on Clayton Mullins, can you recall this for 2 weeks?
Sorry, Judge, I was muted. Yes, ma'am. I can recall it on the 16th, August
All
16th.
right. Okay, so we'll come back on August 16th, and that date will just be to make sure that you all have whatever reports you need to make a decision. And then if there's not an agreement at that time, then we can set it for a contested hearing.
Very well. That sounds excellent. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Daphne, can you send me an email so that when I get it, I can just email it to you?
Of course. May we be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. You too.
Judge, I'm gonna step away for like 3 minutes.
Yes. All right, and Vivian, I see your client. Just give me a moment.
Yes, Judge, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Norma, I'm going to send you a text message.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm back.
All right, thank you. Marcy Martinez.
Yes, ma'am.
To the clerks, can I get the file on Marcy Martinez? She was scheduled for yesterday. Vivian, do you have that cause number?
Yes, I do, Judge. Let me get it for you. Open up my email. Find it. Okay. 2021 Judge CR 4966. And yesterday was her first setting, Judge.
All right. So to the clerks, could I have 2021 CR 4966, please?
Yes, Judge. Judge, we'll have to go downstairs really quick to grab it. It's in the bond forfeiture section. So if you can give us like maybe like 5
All right,
minutes.
thank you.
Wow, move fast.
Yeah.
It's yesterday.
Yeah.
Judge, is this a smaller docket today than yesterday?
I think they're about, yes, it is.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Norma, on Jonathan Cruz. I'm sorry, Jonathan Garcia.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when are we resetting it to?
Judge, he's actually dealing with Tom.
Okay.
So you want to wait till Tom gets back?
Yes.
Okay. Tom will be back. Ooh, when will Tom be back? Is it
August 12th.
August 12th? You want to do it on the 13th, Judge, when he gets back on the 13th, on that Friday?
Yes. That'll be Friday the 13th.
Will he be back on that 13th, or you think we should do it on the 16th just in case his flight gets delayed or something?
But you just put that out in the universe, Norma. Now his flight is going to be delayed. But no, let's just put it on the 13th. We'll see what happens.
Okay, Judge.
All right, Jonathan Cruz Garcia. Can you raise your hand for me, please? All right, Mr. Garcia, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Garcia, we're going to recall you back on August 13th. Your attorney will be here at that time, and the representative from the state will be here at that time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to send you back. Do you have any questions about the process at all?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll bring you back on August 13th. Norma, can you let them know that 14L can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Marcus, I sent you a chat.
Yes, almost done. It was like 90 pages, so narrowing it down.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to go back to the break room.
All right, Scott McCrum.
Good morning, Judge. I'm sorry I'm late. It was a mix-up with having it on my calendar, but on Ray Cruz, is it possible if I could speak with Joe Ray or Lauren Scott that I was speaking with?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. All right, we're going to go on the record. Is there a prosecutor available for Marcy Martinez? She was an FTA for yesterday.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 4966, State of Texas versus Marcy Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Vivian Caceres.
And are you Marcy Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Martinez, do you have any objections with this hearing taking place by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, we are here. Ms. Martinez had a court date yesterday. The court issued a bond forfeiture and remanded her without bond. The defendant was a no-show on July 27, 2021 as of 11:11 a.m. The court informed defense counsel that the court would reconsider if the defendant presented herself on Zoom or in person. Ms. Caceres.
Yes,
Any
Judge.
requests?
Yes, Your Honor. We would respectfully request that the court withdraw the warrant on Ms. Martinez and place her back on the docket, Judge.
All right, stay.
No objection, Judge.
All right, Ms. Martinez, you want to explain to the court why you were not here on yesterday?
I had lost my phone and I misplaced everything I had because my grandma, she passed away, so I had been dealing with that, and I just couldn't find all my paperwork and everything like that.
But you knew you had court yesterday, correct?
No, I had forgot about what date it was on.
All right. Ms. Martinez, you can't miss court again. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the thing about life and the thing about court and criminal cases. Communication is key. If you do not communicate with the court, if you do not communicate with your attorney, then the court assumes that you've ignored your setting, and in which case we have a hearing and a warrant is issued. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So now everyone has to do extra work, which I don't mind doing extra work, but everyone has to do extra work to recall your warrant. You understand? A tree was killed because you were not in court. Okay? So let's make sure trees are not killed, all right? So what I'll do is I'll recall the warrant and reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms. Casares, have you had a chance to confer with the state on this case at all?
I did talk to Meredith yesterday briefly, Judge. I could talk with her again.
Okay. Meredith, are you prepared to confer with her on Marcy Rose Martinez?
Sure.
All right, we'll close the record. Ms. Martinez, I'm going to need you to remain on this Zoom. Your attorney is going to be sent to a breakout room to speak with the state, and then afterwards, she may want to speak with you again. All right?
Okay.
I think it's going to be a beautiful day, Vivian. I can hear the birds chirping from your client's end. You know,
I thought it was birds or a dog crying.
Yeah, I'm going to go with birds chirping.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, just give me a moment while I check to see if I have any other paperwork to sign. All right. All right, to the clerks, you have the ability to move throughout the breakout room. So when the paperwork is ready on Ms. Hoosman, they're in breakout room number 10. If you could go there and swear them in, please.
Judge, it doesn't show me as a co-host.
Oh, let me see. Ah, there you are.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Scott McCrum.
Yes, Judge. Joe Ray is going to be filing a dismissal on Ray Cruz today.
Okay.
Sending that to you now, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, then.
Can I be placed in the breakout room with Mr. Cruz and then leave from there, please?
All right, could Ray Cruz, could you please raise your hand for me, please?
He's in custody, Judge.
All right, there's more than one Cruz, so I have to, that's okay. And they just label them by last name, so I don't have any initials. All right, Mr. Cruz, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 3. And Scott McCrum, I'll send you to 3. And can you bring your client back to the main room after you conferred, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Abel Dominguez.
Yes, Judge, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. We're back because there's an issue with your client, April Sanchez.
Yes, that is correct. I know that she has a warrant out of Valverde County. I have tried to get a hold of Valverde. I know the DA has as well. I have left a couple messages for someone over there trying to get information about it. They are telling me that in order to get information, I would have to pay a fee. After explaining the situation, though, they did pass me along to someone where I left a message. I've been trying to call them to keep calling. I believe this is for a misdemeanor case, so I honestly don't think Valverde is going to come get her.
I just got new information. It's still, I forwarded it to you and Rebecca. So we don't have it figured out yet, but it's not what we thought. It's not a misdemeanor. It's a felony.
Oh, okay.
So does she, do we know if she has an attorney over there yet or no?
I do not know if she does or does not, Your Honor.
Okay. So is there any way, Mr. Dominguez, you can call whoever the prosecutor is there and say, hey, does Miss April Sanchez have an attorney? I'm sure there should be something in the system somewhere showing if she has been appointed attorney or it doesn't.
I just sent a copy of what the only thing we were able to find. It was, the reason they know about it is it was verified via fingerprint.
Okay.
And it could be at large, which is why it's not really showing up anywhere yet, but it is a felony.
Okay. All right, just give us a moment. We're going to figure this out. Bo Wood.
Here we go. Judge, I'm back from speaking with Mr. Warrington and with Meredith McIntyre, and I think we have on the MTR, he'll plead true, so we have an agreement on the front part. We don't have an agreement on the punishment. And I was just chatting with Meredith about what we're going to do, so I think we're ready.
All right, if you'll just fill out the paperwork for consent to plead by video,
Yes, ma'am.
and we'll take care of that. Norma, on Worthington, they need a consent to appear by video.
Yes, ma'am, I will do that right now.
All right, so Mr. Worthington, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6, and Bo, I'll send you to 6. And then we'll
Thank you,
discuss
Judge.
your client, Mr. Saldivar.
Yeah, and I received the site from Norma, but I can't open it. So I was going to ask her if it says it wants a password link or something. I can't.
Bo, I'm
Can't
gonna
break the code.
send a copy to the office and I'll have them fax it over, scan it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Norma, and Mr. Cruz, he's in 14M. He can go back.
14M, thank you, Judge.
Yes. All right, and then let me see where we are on Mr. Rico. Just one moment, everyone. Mr. Villarreal, we're still waiting for your attorney. As soon as your attorney is available, we'll take up the matter.
I just got a text from him not too long ago. He just finished up and he'll be on shortly.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, there is major noise going on outside the office right now. Yes, Vivian, you're back.
Yes, Judge. I was just going to ask for a reset, Your Honor. I've talked to Hunter about the case, but I need to it's the first setting, Judge. So I just needed some time to talk to my client, go over everything with her and all the file as well.
All right, Norma, on Marcy Martinez, it's 2021 CR 4966. Could I have a 30-day reset, please?
The 26th, Judge.
All right, we'll see you back on August 26th.
26. Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May we
You and
be
your client are
excused?
excused, yes.
Okay. Marcy, you can log off now and I'll call you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, bye-bye. And Norma, can you see where Leslie Sakwanowicz is?
He's running late, Judge. He said he'll be here closer to about 11. Because he's in
Okay.
another.
You should be getting the feedback, Judge, on so I think
All right, are we ready to proceed on Mr. Worthington?
I believe so, yes, Judge.
All right.
Mr. Warrington, Your Honor.
Yes,
All right,
Judge.
who's the prosecutor?
I am, Your Honor.
Meredith.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 0399, State of Texas versus Anthony Warrington. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Bo Wood on behalf of Anthony Warrington. He's present. We are.
All right, and are you Mr. Warrington? Could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Warrington, I always tell people, if you're gonna wear a mask, then wear it appropriately.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections.
Mr. Warrington, did you sign a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference? And
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you review it with your attorney?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. I'm going to show you two documents. One is entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. The other is entitled State's Motion to Supplement Pending Motion to Revoke Probation. Did you review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Anthony Leroy Worthington
Yes,
who was
ma'am.
placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 0399 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on April 29, 2021 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Reading from the supplemental motion, Judge. On or about the 29th day of June 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Anthony Leroy Warrington, committed the offense of evading arrest, detention with vehicle in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Well, Your Honor, I didn't have a vehicle. I was on foot. I wasn't in a vehicle. So that part, the evading part, yes, I did run, but I wasn't in a vehicle. I was on foot.
Okay, so you're pleading not true to evading arrest, detention with a vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Bo, do you want to, Your Honor, can we pause this
Yeah,
for a moment and go
Yes.
back to the breakout room? Because that's not what I thought was about to happen.
Right.
Oh,
All right, it's Wednesday. You know, we're off the record. It's Wednesday. If life is not filled with surprises, where will we be? You know? All right. Bo, if you could go to number 5, please.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Abel, you're back on Miss Sanchez. I mean, I'm assuming that nothing's going to be able to occur today. Is that correct or no?
That's probably correct, Your Honor. I will, when I get to my office, I will give the Valverde District Clerk a call and see if they can provide me more help, because I've been calling the county clerk instead because I thought it was a misdemeanor. But now that I see that it was a felony, I'll give the district clerk a call, and then I'll give the DA a call and see if I can get an attorney for them and see what's going on.
All right, do you even know the case number or no?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Sanchez, you cannot be taken anywhere because you have a warrant out of another county. And because that county has a warrant on you, the only transfer they will allow from that jail is to the other county. Now, if the other county decides that they don't want to do that or don't want to be bothered with that, then they won't transfer you. They will lift the warrant, but for now you have a warrant, so you cannot go to your next destination that we have planned. You understand?
Yes. When do the days count? It's from the 16th. Because if I'm not mistaken, I have 2 more days, and if they don't pick me up, they gotta let me go. From the 16th.
You have to talk to your attorney. Here's the thing, Ms. Sanchez, I'm not your attorney on that case.
Yeah.
And I'm not the attorney in this court. I'm the judge in this court. So I don't interfere with legal advice that an attorney is giving you. You understand?
Yes.
So Norma, on Ms. Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
can we recall this in 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. Let me give you a date. I can do the 2 week. I can do the 11th, August 11th.
All right, so we're going to come back on August 11th. And Rebecca, the persons who were supposed to transport her, can you keep them informed that the issue is that she has an out-of-county warrant and that we hopefully will have that issue resolved on or before August 11th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, do you need to speak with your client, Mr. Dominguez?
I'll speak with her briefly, yes, Your Honor, and then may I be excused after that?
Yes, but just bring her back to the main room.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Ms. Sanchez, if you could go to breakout room number 2, your attorney will meet you there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, this is Linda. When you're ready for us, we are ready to proceed.
All right. Thank you. All right, who's the prosecutor on Sarah Huisman? Oh, Marcus, I can't hear you. There's something wrong with your volume. Yeah, your volume's, yeah.
I can stand in for Marcus, Judge. His
Okay,
microphone's.
because Hunter, either he's playing games, you know, I'm always wondering where people are just like.
No one would ever do that, Judge.
Yeah, I'm hoping not.
Oh, I never thought about that, Judge.
Oh, it could be done, right?
It very well could.
But Marcus asked for a few minutes. Is that Marcus?
Ah, okay.
Oh, hold on. Judge, there's a victim impact in this case, and I believe that individual's logging in. So if we could just take a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. And Sarah, I wasn't aware of that, but so you'll just remain quiet and we'll hear that statement, okay?
But on another note, Judge, it looks like Mr. Eli Rico is back.
Ah, Eli Rico. We can take this up then.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm back.
Awesome. Okay, are we ready? Court is going to call 2020 CR 8435, State of Texas versus Roger Villarreal. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Eli Rico.
And are you Roger Villarreal?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
None from the state.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Villarreal, do you have any objections with us proceeding by video?
No, Your Honor.
We were here yesterday on July 27th. The defendant entered a plea. As part of his plea bargain agreement, several cases were taken in consideration and there were several restitution amounts. It's my understanding from both the defense and the state, there is a request to amend the plea bargain agreement. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Judge.
Is that correct, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Villarreal, do you have any objection to an amendment of the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
The amended plea bargain agreement is as follows. There is to be restitution to Clint, C-L-I-N-T, Bernie, B as in boy, E-R-N-Y, and the amount of $2,400. There's to be restitution to Emily Rhodes, R-H-O-D-E-S, and the amount of $2,000. And the state will take in consideration County Court Cause number 662001. Is that the amended plea bargain agreement state?
Yes, Judge, and those amounts are in addition to those previously agreed to.
Defense, is that the amended agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Mr. Villarreal, do you understand that to be the amended agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Any objections from the state to that amended agreement?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense to that as the amended agreement?
No, Judge.
Mr. Villarreal, do you have any objections to that as the amended agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Then that will be included in the agreement. And as previously stated, Mr. Villarreal, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and to the clerks, we'll need to change the judgment to reflect restitution to Clint Burney in the amount of $2,400, Emily Rhodes in the amount of $2,000.
I'm working on it, Judge.
All right, if there's nothing else from either side, we will close the record.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr.
Thank
Villarreal.
you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Villarreal, I'm going to send you to a breakout room so probation can have you sign amended conditions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'll send you to breakout room number 1. Mr. Rico, you can go to breakout room number 1, or either you can be excused.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. And are we ready on Sarah Huseman?
Let me find out, Judge.
Defense is ready, Judge.
Okay. Because no one has logged in. I think we have that person now. All right, and Norma, can you let them know that L27 can go back?
Working?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then Marcus, is your audio working?
I think it is. Yes.
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2966, State of Texas versus Sarah Hausman. And am I pronouncing her name correctly, defense?
Huseman, Your Honor.
Huseman. All right, could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Linda Corley.
All right, and are you Sarah Huseman?
I am.
Yes. All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Huseman, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I did review all the discovery that I received in this case, and the state has given me every item that I am aware of.
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Huseman, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're proceeding on the lesser included Class A misdemeanor, 750 to 2,500.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Huseman, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with is theft, $750 to $2,500? That's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses that the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor, I do believe she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Ms. Houston, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state recommends deferred adjudication. The state will take in consideration 2021 CR 2965. There's to be no contact with Amber Stahl, STAHL. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for 1 year. There be a TAP evaluation, 50 hours of community service restitution, and the CATS 1 and 2 program. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense of theft, $750, but less than $2,500 as a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, we're pleading no contest.
Oh, and I thought that we were talking about, sorry.
All right, Ms. Huesman, are you pleading guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right, and do you need to discuss anything with your attorney about your plea before we go forward?
No, ma'am.
State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, Judge. The state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Huesman, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it at all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. off the record for a moment. Rebecca, this is Sarah Huseman. It's 2021 CR 2966, and it's an application for deferred adjudication.
Thank you.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we ready to proceed with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor. We waive PSI.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to let the court know that she has been extremely remorseful in this situation. It was a judgment call that happened, and there's no real good explanation, but she does regret it. And also to let the court know that she has taken responsibility. She actually paid $15,000 in restitution upfront. So the victim will have that money. She won't have to wait for the period of probation to get that. And we would just request that you allow her to have this chance for deferred to keep her record clean, so she can continue to make this situation as right as she can make it.
All right. Ms. Huseman, how old are you?
I am 42, Your Honor.
All right. Why are you taking things that don't belong to you?
It was very, very bad. It was a huge mistake. I have never done it, and I'm very sorry that happened.
It wasn't a mistake. Let me tell you what a mistake is, because people throw around the word mistake. People, I don't know what has happened to the English language. People have just started using terms improperly. Let me give you an example of a mistake. It's raining outside when I leave my home. I know it's raining, so I bring my black umbrella with me to court. I'm sitting in court. I have my black umbrella. Everybody says it stopped raining. I'm thinking, great. But after I finish with my case, I realize it's raining again. There's a person who sat next to me. They have a black umbrella. I pick up my black umbrella, I go outside, it's raining, I open it up. And when I look inside of it, I realize not my umbrella. I grabbed the wrong black umbrella. So I take it back. That's a mistake. Let me tell you what you did in that scenario. You come to work, it's not raining. You ignore the meteorologist who says it's going to rain. Somebody lets you know it's raining. You're in a courtroom, you don't have an umbrella. Somebody else has brought their black umbrella. You sit next down to them and you're like, oops, it's raining outside. Let me grab that umbrella. You take their umbrella. It's not a mistake because you know it's not yours. You didn't even bring one. That's you making a choice. So at your age, why are you making a choice to steal?
I am so sorry, ma'am. I wish that I could tell you something that will be favorable to me. It was a bad judgment. I'm very regretful about doing it.
How would you like if somebody were to take that chain off your neck?
It will be very sad and I will be very upset. So I completely understand how the other person might feel.
Just 1 second. Is this $15,000 that she paid for the wedding rings?
Yes, Your Honor.
So basically, even though you paid, let me explain something to you. Even though you paid $15,000 for the wedding rings, that means that that person does not have their wedding ring back. I don't know if the engagement ring, if there was a big celebration, if somebody got down on one knee, maybe they planned something in Hawaii, but giving them $15,000 doesn't give them their ring back. I don't know with the wedding ring, if they had like this big, beautiful ceremony, that $15,000 is not giving them the memories back from that wedding ring. Do you understand?
I do.
So where are you working?
I own my own business.
Doing what?
Weddings.
So let me ask you this. Where is the wedding ring? That's what I want to know. Has anybody asked this question? Where is the complainant's wedding ring? Did you include her wedding ring and her engagement ring as some kind of package deal for a wedding? I would like to know where the wedding ring is.
I don't have it, Your Honor.
Where is it?
I am not sure.
Well, let's backtrack. Let's see if we can investigate this like Matlock. You took the wedding ring from the locker, right?
No, ma'am.
Judge, that's why we pled no contest, because there were issues in the case. And I understand the court's position on this. We're doing the best that we can to make everything right. We don't know where the wedding bands are, Your Honor.
So did you use the credit cards?
Yes, ma'am. They were in the trash bin on the locker room next to the trash bins. And I took them and I used them, and I am very regretful about using them.
What did you use them for?
I bought a present for my daughter for her birthday.
What present did you buy?
She wanted earphones, those Beat earphones, and a video player.
So you just stole for your daughter. See, here's the thing. Everybody goes to church. People leave church and they don't take what they learned from church in the real world. So here you are stealing, really teaching your daughter how to steal because you're giving her stolen items. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'll sentence you to 1 year deferred. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
There's going to be 80 hours of community service restitution. I will not allow you to buy that off. So you will have to do those hours. Cats 1 and 2, state, I'm assuming that's to teach people not to steal.
Yes, Judge.
I could probably give that course in 2 seconds. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. People work hard for what they have. They don't appreciate when people steal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be regular Zoom reporting. If you can't report by Zoom, it'll need to be in person. And there'll be regular UAs. Rebecca, is there no contact with Amber Stahl? Take in consideration 2021 CR 2965. Rebecca, is there anything else she needs?
The proof of employment.
Thank you. Proof of employment within 15 days. I mean, you're on your own business for weddings. I would say you shouldn't be around anything that involves the exchanging of credit cards, but I can't stop people from working in their employment. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Rebecca, anything else?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Huesman, is there anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with that, we'll go off the record. My understanding there is victim impact.
Yes, Judge.
And who is,
Amber Stahl.
how is she listed on the screen?
The phone number, the 1210.
Hi, Your Honor. I apologize for not being able to make it onto the screen. I'm currently driving into work, so I do apologize for that.
No problem. It's just that then you'll be only able to talk to her, but you won't be able to see Ms. Huesman. So here's the thing, what I require is I require everyone to be respectful. Ms. Huesman will be respectful to you. So you may proceed, Ms. Stahl.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. So honestly, there's not much to say about any of this. She has her side. I mean, I have my side. For the last year and a half, I've just been constantly looking over my shoulder. Can't really go in anywhere, leave my stuff with anyone. It's hard to go on vacation, leaving my stuff places. I mean, unfortunately, and fortunately, I remember the exact events of these days. I walked into the locker room. I unfortunately was on my phone. I had a family emergency, so I was not paying attention to my surroundings, which I normally do. I'm very aware of my surroundings. But the whole time I was on the phone, I just felt this presence just right over me. Like I could feel her staring at me. I come in with a t-shirt, leggings, tennis shoes. I'm 30 years old. I'm wearing a wristlet. There's nothing of value on me. My wristlet is from Ross. My clothes are from like a fundraiser marathon that I did. There's absolutely nothing special about me except for my $15,000 ring that my husband worked 10 years to provide for me. And so upon getting off my phone, putting my ring in my purse, along with my credit card, my $5 purse, along with my credit card, my business credit card, my personal credit card, I put my ring in there because, I don't think, first off, I'm not very comfortable even wearing my $15,000 ring that my husband so generously bought for me. Of course, I don't want to damage it. I put it in my purse. I put it in a locker with a code on it, knowing that, the likelihood of someone saying that this is their locker and they need a key, I picked the one with the code instead of the key, thinking it's a little bit safer. Obviously, this was a code locker, so obviously she was watching me the whole time, watched me with my code, everything. Otherwise, she would have not guessed this code. I vividly remember it. I go upstairs an hour later, come back downstairs. My boss texts me, "Hey, are you at Target trying to spend $400? No, I'm at the gym. 2 minutes later, I get a text from my personal credit card saying, "Are you at Target trying to spend $200? So no, I'm not there. Upon going through my purse, looking for these credit cards, they were no longer there. My credit cards were in my purse, in my locker, not by a trash can. Upon investigating my purse, there's no evidence of my ring. Immediately called the police. So now here I am today. Don't trust anyone. Can barely go on vacation. I don't leave anything of value. Still have not bought a ring. Don't have any kind of reasons to buy a ring. I'm just extremely confused as to why someone that owns a business, drives a very nice luxury car, lives in a $500,000 home, I'm sure has kids, why they would wish this and do this on anyone else. I'm assuming being a business owner, and I'm sure being a successful business owner, especially in the wedding industry. I worked in the wedding industry for 8 years. I know how much money is there to be made. So I'm sure this lady is extremely successful. I just don't understand why she had to go into my locker, watch me, watch my code, take this ring off my finger, put it in my purse, why she had to go in my locker, steal it. And from that, my husband suggests that I do therapy. Thankfully COVID, so there's not a lot of going on, going out, leaving my purse on the table while I go to the restroom. There's none of that. So I'm just, at the end of the day, I wish I could ask her why, if she had a son that spent 10 years saving up for this ring for this girl he's been with for half of his life, if he would want someone doing it to her son. What's the point of being a business owner and you can afford all of these things, afford this car, afford this house, if you're just going to go steal from somebody else? So, Your Honor, that's pretty much all I have to say today.
All right, thank you. Is there any other victim impact statement?
No, Judge.
All right, do you need to speak with Ms. Stahl?
No, Judge, I'll contact her after.
All right, then Ms. Houston and Ms. Corley, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 1. Ms. Corley, you can go to 1 or be excused. And,
I do have to go to another court, Your Honor. So Sarah, if you have questions, just give me a call. But Judge, I did need to bring attention to one thing on the video consent. Yes. There was a problem. It wouldn't let me sign my name. And then when it went to Sarah, it allowed her to sign her name, but it wouldn't let her turn it in until she also signed on my name, and it wouldn't let us put 2 different names. So her name is on both hers and the attorney. If we could maybe have the clerk correct that, or
yes,
someone
we'll have the clerk correct that.
Thank you, Judge. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Thank you, Judge. Sarah, call me this afternoon if you have questions.
All right. And Ms. Huseman, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, there, go over conditions with you. Bo Wood, are you back on Mr. Warrington?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, do you want me to stay or do you want me to go?
You can, yes, let's stay. Let's see what's going to happen with this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Everything got all twisted around. Let me see. All right, we're going to go back on the record. And 2021 CR 0399, State of Texas versus Anthony Warrington. Could I have the parties announce again, please, for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense.
Oh, Wood, on behalf of Anthony Warrington, he's present. We're ready.
All right, where we left off, states you were reading the allegations.
Yes, Judge, after reviewing further and speaking with Mr. Wood, the state actually has an oral motion to amend the supplemental motion to revoke. The defendant was correct. It is not evading with vehicle. It is just evading arrest or detention.
All right,
so we would like to strike the with vehicle language.
No objection from me, Judge.
All right, Mr. Warrington.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the corrections or the amendment that the state is making to the state's motion to supplement pending motion to revoke probation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and remember about the mask, Mr. Worthington. All right, then state if you could read the allegation, please.
Yes, Judge. On or about the 29th day of June, 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Anthony Leroy Warrington, committed the offense of evading arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
Mr. Warrington, how do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
And then in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Anthony Leroy Warrington, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of May 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
We'll waive the remaining violations.
All right, any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Worthington, did you understand by pleading true to violations of conditions 1 and 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 6 years in the prison and a $1,500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 1 and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 1 and 5 true. Is there an agreement?
No, Your
It's
Honor,
not.
there's not an agreement.
State, what are you requesting?
The state is requesting revocation. We do not object to reducing the underlying sentence. We also, part of the agreement is no matter what the court chooses to do, the state will be taking into consideration and dismissing the new number 1 based on his plea of true. But the state is asking for revocation. This defendant got multiple cases dismissed as part of the original plea and has not done anything on probation and picked up a new offense.
All right, defense.
Judge, this young man's 46 years of age. He has 5 children. He did not grow up in San Antonio. He grew up in Philadelphia, graduated high school. His first foray into college was culinary arts. Then he went back and took some business classes. So he's been working as a chef or a cook. He has a job here in town. His father lives here in town and his cousin. So he came down here, I think in part for self-help to get away from drugs, but also to go to work. And of course, he was on probation for a drug case. But he's clean now. He's going to NA. He pointed out to me he's wearing brown, not orange, because that means he's working. He's working in the kitchen there at the jail. He says, test him right now, the hair sample, anything you want. He's clean. He's NA. He failed to report because he says he doesn't know how. And I said, well, let me walk you through that. So he told me that when he came to court, Paul Smith, wasn't that your trial attorney, sent him the link and he figured out how to get to court for the first part of it, but he never really understood how to do the Zoom. And I said, well, you still had to report, even if you just went to the probation office and go in the lobby. And he says, well, I just didn't know how to do it and I didn't report. And then of course he's picked up a new case. So he's been working to pay fines and the UA costs and his supervisory fees. In the middle of all this, his father had a stroke. This was April, but he had congestive heart failure. So then he had a stroke and he was hospitalized and now he's died. He died last week. Mr. Warrington is not able to see him, not be able to go in the room with him. He's able to see him through a piece of glass, but he's now, they're going to ship the body, his father, to Chicago so he can be buried next to his mother. Mr. Warrington's trying to help put together a memorial here in town. And in the middle of all this, I said, well, look, the big hickey is you just needed to call somebody. You didn't report. You needed to go and tell probation what the problem was. He says he didn't understand that, but he is clean. He's been working at some of the best restaurants here in town. He said he worked at the Valencia. He worked at the Sheraton. He's been working in the kitchens, and he has a job to go to. I asked him where he was staying. And he says, well, my cousin here, I've got a friend who let me stay in an apartment. So he has somewhere to go and a job to go to. And the new case, of course, was an evading because he knew he had a warrant because he had failed to report. So that's really it's not like he's gone back to a bad life. It's not like he's choosing life of crime. He just made some bad decisions. And I told him, look, even to go to the library and use a computer to try to report to probation. He said, well, the libraries were closed during all that time, especially, downtown Central's closed. So That's really, he would like to remain on probation. That's what this comes down to, Judge. I told him that they would offer a much reduced amount if he would agree to go to prison. And he said that's just because of his personal problems, his family and his father's death, but also he would like to finish out this probation. He's clean. He's going to NA. He's enrolled in, what do you call it, Better Men. He enrolled in a program called Better Men. So he's trying to correct his life. He's not choosing a life of crime. I just feel like he should be given a chance. And he probably needs some very good instructional on what he needs to do about go to probation. I told him, look, if you didn't know how to do it on Zoom, just go to their offices. And he says, well, I know that now. So that's where we are, Judge. I think Mr. Warrington might want to address the court. And Mr. Warrington, anything I said that you want to add to, or anything I said that's incorrect?
Yes, I would like to add some things.
Just a moment. Good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you can lower your hand. Before we start with anything, this is the issue. You never reported to probation. And this is what I know. I know that I write everything on the docket sheet. It takes a long time for me to write it, but I'm not writing it for my health. I'm writing it so that I'll remember, because we have thousands of cases. And also, so I'll know what instructions I've given. And with regards to reporting, and I do this to everyone, and it's written right here. I tell everyone, you are to report by Zoom or in person if you have an issue with Zoom. So all of this thing about you didn't know how to report by Zoom, let's erase that, because, and the other thing I do know also, when people are placed on probation, I send you to a breakout room, with probation officer. She's here on the screen now. That probation officer gives you all instructions. But what I know is I told you, as I tell everyone, you ought to report by Zoom. If your phone's not working, if you don't know how to do Zoom, you're to report in person.
Ma'am, I probably missed the part about the report in person, but I tried to report the very next day, like I was instructed to by my lawyer. I believe the appointment was at like 1 o'clock, I believe. And I tried, and I didn't know how to do it. Like I said, at that point in time, my dad, was in the hospital, so it was like I was like probably not like right in the mind. But as I told my lawyer this time, I didn't take 6 years just to throw it back in your face, Your Honor, because you didn't have to do that for me.
Yeah, how did you know you had a warrant?
Well, because I didn't report and I knew it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I can't report.
No. How did you know that you had a warrant?
Oh, because I didn't report. And I knew, I couldn't, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get a warrant. And me not being from down here, I talked to some people. I'm like, well, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Well, you might get a warrant, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, well, I'll sit and I'll wait.
Yeah, you can talk to people about what might happen, but you can't report to probation. That's an issue.
I didn't, right. But see, man, I didn't know I had to go like the building, because as far as I know, a lot of the buildings downtown are not allowing people in due to the fact of COVID. Just like I was unable to go to the library to try to do it. Because that's why when I went to court, when I came to court the last time, that's where I was at before. I was at the library, but I was outside of the library on the phone. Please, I'm trying to get right. That's just the gist of it. I'm trying to get right. You know what I'm saying? I have a job out there. I have people that are trying to help me get my life back on track. You know what I'm saying? Like I said.
Yeah, but you didn't report. That's the one thing you have to do is report, and you did not. The only thing that you have done since you've been on probation, when I placed you on probation, is not report and pick up a new case.
Well, the new case happened because, like I said, my father was sick at the time. Okay, like I said, my father just passed away, like days ago. He had a stroke. Okay, he just passed away.
Here's the thing, Mr. Warrington. Do you know what? A lot of people have parents who passed away, who have had some close relative to pass. But guess what? They're not on probation. They were not given a chance to be on probation when all they had to do was report. You didn't even show up for orientation. The only thing that you've done since you've been on probation is not report and pick up a new case. That's what you've done since you've been on probation.
Yes, ma'am. But I've also been doing like the conditions of my probation. You know what I'm saying? So when if in any event these things when this came about, I would be able to say, well, I went to my NA class. I was going to NA. I went in specific drug and alcohol classes, but I went to NA. You know what I'm saying? I am clean. I am clean. I have not been high since. I am clean. When they came down on me, my dad was sick and I knew it. And I didn't want to be in jail because I didn't know what was going to happen. But when I came in this time, that's when he had the stroke, the same night. Right after I came in, because I called the next day. And since then, my father's passed away, and I just like want the opportunity.
I don't know. I don't understand what you're expecting from the court, because the only thing I'm hearing from you is that you're avoiding your problems.
No, I'm not avoiding my problems.
You ran so that you wouldn't get arrested. You didn't report to probation. All I'm hearing from you are excuses.
I apologize.
And again, the only thing that you have done since I placed you on probation in April 29th, 2021, is not report and pick up a new case. And let me just tell you what I'm hearing from you right now. You're like the person who has children who wants credit because they are financially supporting their children. That's something they're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
So you want me to give you credit because you're saying you've been staying clean and sober. That's something you're supposed to do.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking for another chance is what I'm asking. I will do what I need to do, even if I got to go to my probation officer twice a week. If that needs to be, so be it. So be it. If that's, anything, please. I'm not making no excuses. I did what I did, and yes, I was wrong. I'm just asking for another chance is what I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
And so I'm trying to figure out why I should give you another chance. Defense, do you have any questions for Mr. Worthington?
Mr. Warrington, you have a place to go. You're going to stay with either your cousin or this friend that has an apartment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And not to mention, I'm in the process of Sam Ministries. I'm in the process of getting my own place. Sam Ministry has a program going where they get you an apartment and they pay your rent for the first year to help you. It's like a start off program.
And you have a job to go to?
Yes, I'm going back to work. I'm going back to a job when I get out. Yes,
and if tomorrow morning it's raining and it's raining so hard that it's hailing, you will still take a bus and go to probation and find your officer?
I have a ride, yes. I have a ride to get here or catch a bus either way. By all means necessary. I have a bike.
If the judge was to put a monitor on you, you're okay with that? If she wanted to have you report every morning before you go to work, you'll do that?
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm just willing to go. I'm willing to go through those extremes just to show the court that I am trying to do the right thing, that I am trying to get my life on track.
State, any questions?
I just have one question, Judge. Mr. Warrington, when you were arrested for your warrant and you ran from the officer, isn't it true that you had a glass meth pipe in your back pocket?
No, I didn't have. No.
Okay.
I didn't have no nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like.
So if that was in the report, that would not be true?
That is not true. Just like they said I was in a vehicle. Or when they gave my charges, they gave my charges on a vehicle.
Okay, time out. Mr. Warrington.
Yes, ma'am.
One, you need to stop talking fast because people can't hear what you're saying. And there's an issue when people talk too fast. Maybe they don't want people to hear what they're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
And number two, the court reporter is taking down everything that's being said. The court reporter cannot take things down when both people are talking at the same time. So let the state or either your defense attorney ask a question. When they finish with the question, you may answer it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's just the fact that I'm nervous. That's all.
I don't have other questions, Judge.
All right, Mr. Wood, you want to address this crack pipe that I'm being told Mr. Warrington had?
I told him that was in the police report and that was going to be an issue. And he said, I'm clean now. It was incorrect. I'm not. He said, I told him, well, we'd get a hair sample and that would take us back several months. He said, I'm clean. I'm not using. I'm in NA, and I'm also, well, you've been in jail a month. You've been sitting in Bexar County about a month.
No, sir. I've been in Bexar County what's today's date?
29.
28. I've been in jail 27 days, man.
All right, that's why he's clean, because he's at the Bexar County jail.
No.
But now hair follicle would show months worth of use, whether it's because I know opium or cocaine would get right out of your system within just days, not like marijuana. But I think, I think we got a question. Go ahead, Mr. Warrington.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I mean, no, just because I'm in jail, that's not why I was clean. I've been staying clean. I've been staying because that's the conditions of me staying with the people that I stay with, that I cannot get high. That's one of the conditions. Like, they don't want me getting high just as well as the court doesn't. They don't want me. I mean, they just want me to get right. So, like I said, I've been actually staying clean. And I've actually been hanging around people who don't get high. So I don't get high. Because I'm one of those type of individuals, if I'm around it, you know what I'm saying? I'm more apt like to try it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the wrong choice, but it happens like that sometimes. But I can assure you that I am clean, that I have been clean.
And where would you work?
Where would I work? Actually, I am going back to Allied Staffing Solutions.
Okay.
That's where I'm starting to go back to work in the kitchens. Because that's where I was working through before. But as I said, before I came in, due to the fact that they're not really doing like kitchen hiring because of COVID and all of this. I have my friend has a landscaping business that I have been working with him, and that's how I've been saving money, so I can try to pay my my court costs and fines when all this came about. Which when all that was given to the police officer, you know what I'm saying, the night my wallet was given to the police officer, so all that should be on my property.
How much money do you think you'll be able to pay when you get out?
Well, right now, at this moment, because right now, my dad was my only, besides my work, my dad was my means of, like loose ends, so to speak. But if I go back to work, I mean, I can come up with, like, I don't know, depending on what the job pays. That's how I say that one, like how the job pays. Like most of the jobs I work in the kitchens, they start at like $12 an hour. So I'll probably be able to make like maybe $100, $150 a month, as far as like restitution. And then I know I have probation fees and urinalysis fees and.
All right, so here's the choice. I'm going to give you a choice, Mr. Warrington. You can go to prison. I'll send you to prison for 2 years, or either you can go to ISF. So those are your two choices.
Please, ma'am, please.
Those are your two choices. You're either going to ISF Cognitive,
what's
or
that?
either you can choose 2 years in the prison. I'll send you to a breakout room to discuss it with your attorney and let me know which choice you want. You're in breakout room number 3.
Judge, I'm going to go to the breakout room with the other client.
All right, thank you. And that was Ms. Houston.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see her on the screen. She has left. I think she left. I think she may have had something else she wished to do. Norma, can you call Linda Corley and tell her that her client, Ms. Houston, needs to come back, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's better than TV.
Leslie Sekwanowicz.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, you're here for your client, Mr. Robledo.
Miss Robledo. Valencia Robledo.
All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room. Somebody from the state will meet you there. I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Yes, we don't need to, Judge. We're just here for the sentencing.
All right, is Mr. Robledo in the courtroom, please?
What do you have it on?
Leslie Sekwanowicz, you need to end your music, please.
Is it on audio?
Valencia.
She's here, Your Honor.
All right, if you could have her come forward, please.
We'll go get it. She's eating a taco.
All right.
Should I send you an email? If you can look at it.
Nora, I don't have an email.
I just sent it, Judge.
Okay.
Sanchez, can you go to room 4?
All the way to the front, there's a blue dot on the floor.
All right, who is the prosecutor on Miss Robledo?
I believe it was Hunter, maybe?
All right,
What-
Mr. Sekonowitz, you need to show your video.
Yeah,
What are we doing here?
yeah.
It's sentencing.
Oh, okay.
All right, and did you all have an agreement? The defendant has already pled, before we go on the record, the defendant has already pled to violation of condition number 2, and the court found it true.
That's correct, Judge. I
Was there
believe
an
we had,
agreement with sentencing?
there was, Your Honor.
And what was that agreement?
Hunter, is it 60 days?
I don't know, I wasn't a part of you all's agreement. So what was the agreement?
Judge, I'm looking it up right now. I didn't realize that we'd already entered a plea on this.
And Leslie, you're dressed inappropriately for court.
My apologies, Judge.
All right, so after Mr. Sekonowitz is dressed appropriately for court, we'll take this up.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. So Valencia, if you'll just have a seat, please, in the courtroom. Don't leave the courtroom. We'll come back to you after your attorney is dressed appropriately.
Okay, thank you.
Did you need to go to a breakout room with Leslie in order to see what the plea was, Hunter?
I found my notes, Judge. I just entered the wrong SID.
All right, thank you.
And there is an agreement. We just reset for some matters, personal matters, I believe.
Judge, on both client, are we gonna need a certificate of appeal for me to do?
I don't know. Because I
Not
don't
yet?
know what their decision is, but just go ahead and do one anyway and send it to him while he's in the breakout room.
Okay, will do.
Okay. All right, Karen. Yes.
Yes. Hi, great minds. Your Honor, I had filed a motion to set a bond on Max Sanchez back on July 2nd. And I was wondering if we could address that right now. We're trying to work out the MTR, but we haven't been able to reach an agreement.
Have you conferred with the state on a bond on this?
I chatted Marcus, but I haven't received a response. So I guess the answer would be no.
Okay, well, let's see. I'll send you to a breakout room with Marcus and we'll see if y'all can confer on a bond. I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
And Marcus will meet you at number 6. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. And I can go back. Which case was that? I'm sorry. Yes. We're waiting for him to get dressed. All right, Bo, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. I was just going to chat with Meredith.
Okay.
Dad burn it. Sorry, I thought I unmuted. Yes, he's going to choose that 2 years. I think he's got 152 days credit because he served quite a bit from October.
All right,
to
then
now.
he needs to sign a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
And Judge, the other thing is there's a memorial service this weekend for his father. Would you allow him to be released long enough just to go to a memorial service? Maybe wear a monitor, maybe be escorted. We don't yet know the date and term. Or I said, if you just got off Saturday, would the family cater to you, or is it set on Sunday? He said, I do not know.
They'll need to do that through the sheriff's office.
Like a compassionate release or?
Yes. Okay,
All right.
Mr. Worthington, here's the thing. This is all of your own making.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where we are.
Right, Brianna, like, please just.
And let me just tell you this. People always want to put the consequences for their choices off to someone else, right?
No.
Like, I'm compassionate. I understand people's pain and agony. I've had close relatives who passed. I've had close relatives who passed who I couldn't attend their funeral services. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was a position I was in, that I couldn't make it back to do that.
Can I please say something?
Sure.
Okay. Yes, I did. I know I caught the new case, whatever, but like it was all in like just so I could be out there because I knew my dad was sick, you know what I'm saying? And it's like my dad was all I had. And that's the only thing I'm asking for, just allow me to be able to go to the memorial for the so I can say my last goodbyes to my dad. You know what I'm saying? And let my family know, look, I gotta go do this time. And I come right back. I know I didn't report the probation. And yes, I'm not making no excuse for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man, I accept responsibility for my actions. I'm just asking for just a little bit of compassion. Just please, just allow me to be able to say goodbye to my dad. That was all I had left. That's all I have left. All I had left. Please.
All right. Bo, do you want to confer with the state concerning that?
Certainly.
All right. If you all can go to breakout room number 2, Mr. Wood.
Real quick, Yana.
Mr. Worthington, it's probably best that you not say anything else.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Warrington, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
When is this memorial service?
Well, that I don't know. I just know sometimes it's this weekend because thing is my dad's body's getting shipped back to Chicago.
Now, see, listen, I want you to answer my question. Do you know when the memorial service is? Yes or no?
I just know it's this weekend. I don't know exactly what day. I just know it's this weekend. That's all I know.
It's either Saturday or Sunday. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not on Monday. It's not on Tuesday.
No.
The memorial service will happen either Saturday or Sunday.
It's either Saturday or Sunday. That's why I
Now,
actually.
who's gonna? The state has talked with the defense, and state is very compassionate. So, how much bond can you make?
Actually, I have nothing now. I have nothing. Like I lost everything. Like my wallet was given to the officers when I got arrested. That's all the money I had. Now I don't know if my money itself was still in my wallet, but I know I had $410 in my wallet. That I do know. That's what was in my wallet, but it didn't get put on my book, so I don't know. I'm saying nobody. I mean, and it would like everything is like being put towards like this memorial, whatever. So I don't.
All right, I'm going to set his bond for $2,500. And Norma, can we recall this case for Monday?
So what she's doing, Mr. Warrington, is she's already pled to it. So she has the ability to sentence you to 6 years in prison if we don't see you on Monday. But she's talking about letting you out. And we return to court on Monday would he turn himself back in the jail, Judge, on Sunday night or Monday morning?
No, he comes to the 187 District Court. We're going to go back on the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Back on the record in 2021 CR 0399, State of Texas versus Anthony Warrington. Mr. Warrington, the state and the defense have had a chance to confer over the issues that you have with the death of your father. So this is what the court is going to do. The court has previously found violations of conditions 1 and 5 true. The court will set your bond at $2,500. This case is going to be recalled for August 2nd. Norma, are we able to recall this for August 2nd?
Yes, ma'am.
This case is going to be recalled for August 2nd at 9 a.m. You've informed the court off the record that the funeral for your father, the memorial service, is either going to be July 31st or August 1st, because you've informed the court that your father's remains will be shipped to Chicago on August 2nd. So you will need to be in court on August 2nd at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
At 9 a.m., understand?
Yes, ma'am. Am I to report there or am I to do it on Zoom?
Nobody heard what you said.
Am I like to come to the 187?
You're coming to the 187 District Court on August 2nd at 9 a.m. The 187 District Court is located at 300 De La Rosa. It's on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
What time do you need to be in the 187 District Court?
9:00 a.m.
What date?
2nd, Monday the 2nd.
Of what month?
August.
And do you know where the 187 District Court is located?
300 De La Rosa. Now, can I ask you this? Is that like right across the street from the old?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly where I'm going there. Yes.
We will see you then.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
Mr. Wood, do you need to speak with your client anymore to stress to him what will happen if he's not here what could potentially happen?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right. With that, we're going to close the record. Mr. Wood, I'll send you to breakout room number 1. Mr. Worthington, I'll send you to 1.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Karen Corby.
Yes, Your Honor. Marcus and I have reached an agreement on the bond issue to set it at its previous amount of $20,000 with partial GPS if he can show proof of employment, but he would have to get out to be able to show that.
I don't understand. You said set bond at 20,000. That's the agreement. And what else?
With GPS monitoring, Your Honor, what we're asking for partial, but they want proof of employment. He won't be able to get proof of employment while he's in jail. So I guess if he is able to make the $20,000 bond, we would just ask for permission for him to be able to get proof. I'm sure he can coordinate that with the GPS people. And then we would like to ask for a 30-day reset because we are trying to work this out. It is an old case. So we asked for a 30-day reset.
Okay, when you say it's an old case, you mean the actual motion to revoke?
Well, what I mean by that, Judge, it's offense date of 2013. He's been on probation since 2017.
Okay, he needs to, if you could have your client come out of breakout room number 5, please, and come back to the main room. And I will assign you to number 5 because I think that's where your client is.
And Judge, I had sent you a chat earlier. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and Norma, on Max Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
can you give me a 3-week reset for that?
Yes, I can do the 23rd.
All right, State, will you be ready for a contested hearing if it turns out this is contested?
Oh, Judge, let's make it for the, oh, God. Hold on, Judge. Give me 1 second.
For which one, Judge?
Max Sanchez.
It was me, Meredith.
We can do the 17th, Judge.
August 17th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, State, if this is a contested hearing, will you be ready on August 17th?
Yes, Judge.
And will that be at 2?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, I believe Karen Corby is having difficulties removing her client for number 5. If you could go to number 5, let her know what the reset date is, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Corby, Norma, they came back. All right, Mr. Sanchez, you have an agreed bond with the state. So the bond will be set at $20,000, full GPS. You'll be allowed to work upon proof of employment. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or supervision of minors. And this will be set for a contested hearing on August 17th at 2 p.m. Ms. Corby, if it turns out it's not contested, then that's fine, but it's set for August 17th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
May we be excused?
Yes.
Have a great day.
And Mr. Sanchez, you too. And Mr. Sanchez, if you'll remain there till they remove you.
Thank you.
All right, Norma, you can let them know that L4 can go back. All right, and then Bo Wood, you still have Mr. Saldivar. Have you conferred with the state?
Judge, this is the one we're waiting for the psych eval. I don't have any question as to what it said. I believe he's going to be competent, but I haven't seen it.
Yes,
Norma
that's what
sent
it
to me,
says.
Okay, so I have not. We've spoken in the past, but it's been, oh my, months.
All right, do you need to speak with him?
If I may, with the DA, if I may.
Yes, no, he's here. Mr. David Saldivar, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Your attorney will meet you in breakout room number 2.
Might I speak to a DA first, Judge?
Okay, if you go to 1, Bo.
Thank you, Judge.
And could a prosecutor go number 1? And then we're ready on Leslie's case. Leslie, you're appropriately dressed now. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2117, State of Texas versus Valencia Robledo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Hunter Morris.
for the defense?
Leslie Sahanovich is here.
All right, and are you Valencia Robledo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the defendant entered a plea of true to violation number 2 on July 14th. This is recalled today for sentencing. At that time, the defendant signed a consent to appear by video. The court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. Any objections with us proceeding by video, state?
None, Judge.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Robledo, any objections to us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, so my understanding, there was an agreement that was reached with regards to sentencing. The range of punishment on this case, based upon the plea, is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. So was there an agreement?
There is, Judge.
There is, Your Honor. I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to solidify the time credit she has, and she claims she has 276 days. I sent an email out to the
Yes, she has a total of 60 days according to the clerks.
60 days?
Yes.
Okay, and I believe that Hunter was in that our agreement that she was going to do 60 days.
Yes, that is the agreement, Judge. Revocation and sentencing for 60 days in the Bexar County Jail.
So I believe, Judge, this probably would be a judgment satisfied, especially in light of her grandfather dying, and she's the sole provider of her 7-year-old and 8-year-old niece and nephew.
Well, let me ask you this. If she's drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I don't know.
Ms. Robledo, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And know that I can have you drug tested today.
It would be negative, ma'am. I have really changed my ways. I had to grow up very fast, and I was living recklessly, but I do apologize, and those were my issues. But
no problem. Rebecca, can you get someone to drug test her?
Maybe we make this short. Just be honest with the court, Valencia. When's the last time you had used
we can pull up place or not. Just 1 second. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Ms. Robledo, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand and state your name for the record, please.
Valencia Robello.
Valencia, sorry, Judge. My apologies. Valencia, candor and truthfulness is a big factor in this court. So I'm going to ask you a question, and the question is this. When was the last, I know that you told me in the past that you had smoked marijuana. Yes. And so I want you to tell the court, when was the last time you smoked marijuana?
It's been about, honestly, 3 days.
30 days or 3 days?
3 days.
3 days. Okay. So if you were to be tested today, would you be tested negative or positive? Because knowing that, I don't know if you know this, but marijuana stays in your system for more than 3 days.
Oh, I would test positive. That is the truth.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
Any questions, Mr. Morris?
Hi, Mr. Bello. I'm Hunter Morris. Are there any other drugs that you have used within the past 30 days that could show up on a drug test today?
Well, I took some Vicodin and a Xanax. But that's about all the drugs that I've done. And it was the bare minimum. I mean, that's the truth. I don't want to lie to the court.
I'll pass witness, Judge.
Are all these prescription medications prescribed to you?
No, not as of current. I don't have any health insurance. And then when I went to jail and got out, it's just a lot to take on. And I know that's not an excuse.
Mr. Sarkwanowicz, so your client is telling me she wants to be honest with the court and she doesn't want to be dishonest, but we've started off with, I'm going to be negative. Now it's turned to, I'm going to be positive for marijuana. And now it's turned to, no, Vicodin and Xanax.
Well, Your Honor, I understand that, Judge, but there's some mitigating circumstances. And either whether she can afford or not afford healthcare is one thing. I believe that when we were here last time, I believe her grandfather had passed away. And what was the date when your grandfather passed away, Ms. Rebello?
On the 26th of July.
July. And so I think the fact is.
No, excuse me. Somebody who she brought with her in the background just said it was June and not July.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 6/26 was the date my grandfather passed, but we didn't have the funeral until the 19th of
July.
Yes, because Fort Sam was backed up.
And to be specific, Judge, my question to her was not the use of drugs. My question to her was very specific. It was the use of marijuana. That was what I was under the impression of. I still think that she has exhibited full candor with the court. She has not dodged the court's questions. She hasn't gone down the rabbit trail for 15 minutes trying to suggest other excuses why.
I asked your client if she was going to be positive for drugs.
I understand.
Marijuana is a drug, and she said no.
Right, I understand that, Judge, but at the same time, I know the drug stays in your system for more than 3 days or more than 30 days. And so she may have not been aware of that, Judge. But the fact is, after I told her about that, she admitted to you that she would test positive.
And then, so what I have before me is a person who's saying that she's taking care of her aunt. And didn't she say she was taking care of her child as well?
It's not her
child. Did I hear that improperly?
It's Ms. Rebello, is it not true you are taking care of your 8-year-old niece and your 7-year-old nephew, or you're helping to be a caregiver for them? Can you explain to the court what role are you playing with them?
Well, I am the sole provider now. My grandfather left everything to me, so I have to now, take care of the house inside and out and the kids. And like I said, I'm sorry, Judge. I wasn't really realizing how long they stay in your system, but I really am trying. I haven't picked up any new cases. I have been working at Educare since early November of 2020. Steady employment. I'm doing the best that I can, and I will continue to. If you could just please, I just don't want this hanging over my head anymore.
Well, I don't understand why she is being allowed to take care of a 7-year-old and 8-year-old, and she's using marijuana, Xanax, and Vicodin. Somebody explain that to me. How is that appropriate? How does a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old does not deserve somebody who's not using marijuana, Vicodin, and Xanax? I mean, where is this going? Is there anyone on this screen today who would want this defendant to babysit their child knowing what they now know? Raise your hand if somebody would want this person. All right, then somebody call CPS. Does anybody want someone who's using marijuana, Vicodin, and Xanax to be in charge of a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old?
Your Honor,
I mean, I find that very concerning because She's saying what she says. It's neither, honestly, it's neither here nor there. If I give her 60 days, judgment satisfied, and she walks out of this courtroom, let me just tell you what happens. One, she's no longer on probation. She can use as much Vicodin, Xanax, and marijuana as she wants. And she's telling me that she's in charge of a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. And then I'm assuming I'm supposed to feel sympathetic, which I do. I empathize and I feel sympathy for people who've lost their loved ones. But she's lost someone in her life, which is devastating. So now I have someone before me who has 2 children that she's the sole caretaker of. That's what she said. She's the sole provider. I have somebody who's using drugs. Her relative died in June. So we do know, based upon her testimony, that she actually used drugs at least 3 days ago. I don't know if that happened in the home where the children are or not.
No, ma'am.
All I know is she's the sole provider for a 7-year-old, 8-year-old using drugs. And I'm supposed to allow her to go out in the world free from any type of supervision to take care of a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old where she's using drugs.
Your Honor, at this juncture, I'd like to do is call her sister, which she's sitting in the back as a witness to Ms. Rubello's ability to be the caregiver and the circumstances regarding her becoming the caregiver of the niece and nephew.
Sure. Have the sister come up, please. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
My name is Sasha Beckett.
All right, and I'm gonna need you to speak up.
My name is Sasha Beckett.
Spell your last name, please.
It is Beckett.
And spell your first name.
It is Sasha.
All right, defense.
Okay, Ms. Beckett, you've heard the testimony of Ms. Rubello and you've heard the concerns of Judge Boyd here today, have you?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and then so what is your observation? She mentioned, that is Ms. Rubello mentioned that she had taken Vicodin and I believe it was Xanax. And do you know whether she had any prescriptions into those drugs previously?
Previously, yes, she has. My sister has been in numerous car accidents. She does have herniated disc in the lower and the upper, the lower lumbar, as well as the upper. Now, she does not have medical insurance. I was trying to get her on mine, but you know, I'm not able to, not in the state of California, no. Now she hasn't worked long enough for her medical benefits to take effect. But my sister's not my sister's not an addict. Is she in pain? Yes. And I see it like the whole time I've been here. I mean, like cringing in her bed from the pain.
Well, Ms. Beckett, can you tell the court in terms of whether or not the passing of the grandfather has been a stressful experience for the family?
It has been beyond stressful. More so to Valencia because our grandfather raised Valencia. Like that is, you know, I had a dad. And our mom was around, but she wasn't around. And my grandfather has been Valencia's mom and dad all her life. And she has taken care of him you know, for 5 years. And, you know, he has other kids. And then, you know, he has some grandkids, but no one has been there for him like Valencia was.
Ms. Beckett, let me interrupt you just for a second. Could you tell the court, how did your grandfather end up with the 8-year-old and 7-year-old niece and nephew?
It was due to the passing of our oldest brother.
And how long had he taken care of them?
Since 2 and 3. And he had just finished having open heart surgery, 2 of them back to back, because the hospital messed up on the first one and they had to go back in and redo it again. And Valencia was the only person there, you know, and it's not right because we as a family should have came together at that time, but for you know, different circumstances,
Right. So
you know,
Ms.
we
Beckett,
weren't able to be there.
Ms. Beckett, where do you reside?
I reside in California, Costa Mesa.
California? Okay, so are you here just to visit for the funeral?
Yes, and I'm just trying to, you know, kind of help Valencia get everything into perspective. But yes, my life is in California.
Okay.
Valencia is really just here by herself. We have an elderly aunt that also stays in my grandfather's home that Valencia also cares for.
So Ms. Beckett, prior to your grandfather passing, the household consisted of your grandfather. I'm sorry, what was his name?
His name was Lawrence Rebello.
So the household consisted of Lawrence Rebello, correct?
Yes.
And then the Valencia Rebello, that's her dad, correct?
No, that's my grandfather.
That's grandfather. I'm sorry, her grandfather. And what are the names of the two children?
It is Serena and Dominic.
And so the household consisted of the 4 of them. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
I'm sorry, it's 5 because my elderly aunt is there.
Okay. So is your elderly aunt in the household now?
She is in the household now.
And how old is she?
66.
And so what role did she play in being a caregiver for Serena and Dominic?
She doesn't. She's just, honestly, she's just there. She's a very, very, very selfish, very mean lady.
Okay, well, I just want to know not what her personality is. I'm just
sorry.
asking.
She doesn't care for them.
Yeah. And do you have personal knowledge that she has never taken or participated in the caretaking of Serena and Dominic?
From my knowledge, no.
And so do you think that Serena, this is not about Serena and Dominic, but whether the judge should allow Valencia to have a judgment satisfied in this case because of the nature of her drug use. And so what you're saying is that she had prior prescriptions for Vicodin for her back and for Xanax, correct?
Yes, and then the Vicodin was like, they even had to up her for her pain medication, as well as I think it was muscle relaxers that they had given her.
Okay, but so the use of the medications is related to physical injuries and stress.
Yes.
Okay. And so to your point, other than those 3 things we talked about, the marijuana, the Vicodin, and the Xanax, can you tell the court whether you have ever seen Ms. Rebello use any other drugs or consume any of the drugs?
No, I have not. And
No,
not
for-
since my time being down here,
Okay. And how long have you known Ms. Rubio?
all my life.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Are any questions, State?
Just a few, Judge. Hi, Ms. Beckett.
Hello.
So I understand you to be saying that Ms. Rebello is the only person that is actively taking care of Serena and Dominic. Is that right?
Yes.
And I do empathize with Ms. Rebello and her pain, but when the pain gets to be unbearable, who else is there to watch these children when she has to deal with the pain in whichever way she chooses to do so?
You know what? There's no one. Like I said, I'm down here now, helping her put things into perspective and into place. But by far is Valencia an irresponsible caregiver. And I mean, I wish I was able to bring the kids in here to, to speak on her behalf, because she takes great care of them.
I understand, Ms. Beckett. My question is, if Ms. Rebello is under the influence of some substance to deal with this pain, who else is there to watch these children?
It would probably be, a family friend, or, myself as of right now.
But you live in California?
Yes, but I would have to do what I have to do, for them as well as for Valencia.
I understand. Thank you. Pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court has denied the motion. The court is going to alter and amend conditions to include random UAs, parenting classes, and there's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or employment with minor children. Is there anything else from either side?
I think from the state, Judge.
I'm sorry, Judge, can you repeat that so I can get this down?
Yeah, Barbara. I'm denying the motion. I'm altering and amending conditions to include random UAs, parenting classes, no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minor children. And Rebecca, I'm going to want a UA today so she can be tested for levels.
Okay, so parenting classes and UAs.
Yes.
Testing today. And motion.
And Ms. Robledo, those levels need to start dropping. Do you understand? So there's to be no more drug use. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then she would be continued on her, because I think she was on 3 years.
Yes. No, she's on regular probation.
Regular probation, I'm sorry.
All right, with that, I'm going to close the record. Ms. Robledo, to the courtroom. If you could go to breakout room number 2.
Yes, Judge.
And they'll go over conditions with you. And Leslie, if you could go to number 1. And courtroom, if you could go to 1.
Judge, this is Linda Corley. May I approach?
Yes.
I believe my client's in number 1 right now.
Yes.
She had a misunderstanding, and I don't think she's talked to the probation yet. So I had her sign back in. I think she was confused, and she signed out whenever I signed out.
No problem. She's in number 1, and probation will meet her in number 1 to go over conditions.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much, Judge. May I be excused again?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, but what is happening with your client, Ms. Saldivar? Mr. Saldivar.
Judge, I was just texting Meredith. Meredith and I were trying to work something out. He says I told him that usually a trial is very stressful, and he agrees. He would rather try to work something out with the government. So I think we just need a little time to work toward that goal. I know we're coming up short for your morning. Is there a chance we could, just for Meredith and me to kind of explore where we're going with this? There's not really a class for what he's charged with. He's still in that breakout room as well. But I think I just need some time to work with Meredith on what she's wanting.
When do you all want to come back on this? Oh, Meredith, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Couple of weeks. Meredith, you're still.
All right, Meredith, if you put it in the chat box, because there's something wrong with your volume.
I was testing my speaker. It went
Okay.
out. Next week is fine.
All right.
I've got a general idea of what the offer is going to be, but I just need to check on one thing.
All right, Norma, can you recall David Saldivar? If we could recall it maybe for Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, either day is fine, Judge, for whatever.
Thursday's better for me if we could, Judge.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
All right, so we'll come back on Thursday. And Bo, if you could go to the breakout room and let your client know that we'll be back on Thursday.
I will. I sure will. Judge.
August 5th. And then he's excused and you're excused. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well. Thanks.
All right,
I'll send you an email.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Meredith. Yeah.
And Norma, on Ray Martinez, is he going to be here?
No, ma'am. They withdrew it was just for her bond. It was for a bond hearing, Judge, but she made bond.
All right. And then on Jay Norton.
Hold on, Judge.
His client is here, and that's for discovery compliance. And Delcine, I think we are done for today. The discovery compliance, that's not something we'll need to put on the record. Either the defense will tell me that they have all the discovery. If they don't, then we'll probably have to set it for a hearing.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you. Happy Wednesday.
You're welcome. Same to you.
All right, bye-bye. Thank
Same
you.
to you. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone, I'm going to stop live stream. Hey, Hunter, I see you in the background. So we're going to stop live stream. And actually, I will be presenting a CLE legislative update on criminal law on Friday. So I will see everyone back on Monday. I guess that's August 2nd. So everyone have a great rest of your week. Mask up, people. Socially distance.